What's up, YouTube? It's been a long time. Been a long time indeed. 9 months, in fact. 9 or 8 months since my last video. And I apologize for that. I moved, my camera died, and all this other stuff. But now I'm back. And I'm here to make it up to you by making a multi-part pickup video. So without further ado, let us begin. The first game I have for you is Pokemon White 2. Haven't played it yet because I'm playing through another game right now. But it looks pretty interesting, and gotta catch 'em all, Pokemon. Next up, as I reach behind me, Bleach Shattered Blades. When I originally owned a Nintendo Wii, this was a lot of fun. Me and my friends played it, and we were all like, what the fuck, when it came to the 99 hit combos and all that stuff. So if you're looking for a good time and just ridiculous, all-out, over-the-top action, not a bad game to pick up. Next up, I have Demon Souls. Quite honestly, I have no idea why I picked this game up. It was 20 bucks. I find it easy. It's not as hard. I haven't beaten it yet because I'm also one of those people that likes to get to the highest level, and I don't care if there's no purpose to it. It's just a thing I do. I get to max level and then continue on. So Dark Souls, it's decent enough. Next up, Mario Party 9 for the Wii. It's Mario Party. It's fantastic. It's a lot of fun, and you're going to have a ball with this one. Mario Party 9. Next up is Darksiders 2. I picked this game up because the company went under, and I was like, I got to support this. It's an awesome franchise, and really good game here. I have it on PC as well, but definitely check it out if you still can. Darksiders 2. Next up, I have, as I reach forward, as I reach forward a bit, Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge for the Wii U. I have not played the Xbox 360 or PlayStation 3 version, but this version is fantastic, and I would definitely recommend it to anyone wanting to play some Ninja Gaiden 3. Dead Space 2. I got it for 20 bucks. Haven't played it yet. As a matter of fact, I believe it is still sealed. Yes, it is. Yeah. Dead Space 3. Dead Space 2, sorry. Donkey Kong Country Returns. Got this brand new for 20 bucks. Not a bad deal. Pretty fun game and a lot of action. Kind of hard, but definitely reminiscent of the original Donkey Kong Countries. Next up is I have the first game of 3 games that I got for 20 bucks. They're all Xbox 360 games, and that is Star Ocean: The Last Hope. I don't have an Xbox 360 now, but again, it was 20 bucks for 3 games, and how could you say no to Star Ocean and 2 other games that I'll be showing off later. Next up, Jet Set Radio Grind. It came with a bunch of other games for 40 bucks, plus North American Dreamcast, and I couldn't say no to that. This was actually the main reason why I bought it, because most of the time I see this game for 50 bucks, so to get 10 games, plus the system, plus 2 controllers, for 40 bucks, can't go wrong. And this is the superior version. I would recommend this version over the iPhone, PS3, and Xbox 360 versions. But if you have those versions, that's also cool. Next up, and this is a game I would recommend to John over at Gamester81 and anyone who has a Sega Saturn and is a huge fan of fighting games, and that is Street Fighter 03, known as Street Fighter Alpha 3 out here. This was one of the last games for the Sega Saturn, and it is one of the best fighting games you will ever find for the Sega Saturn, and this is the superior version next to the arcade. If you like yourself some Street Fighter Alpha 3, this is the version you have to get. New Super Mario Bros. U. I've been playing this with my best friend Christy. She loves it. I love it. We've had to restart from the beginning because my save file got corrupted. And we've been having a blast. It's a really fun game. Definitely recommend it for anyone who's looking into getting a Wii U or who has a Wii U already. Super Mario Bros. U. Guilty Gear XX Ascent Core. Or Ascent Core. I don't know what it is, but awesome game. I have the Wii version, and I have the PS2 version, which will be showing up much later in the pickups video, probably around part 5 or so. But yes, Guilty Gear, Is an awesome fighting game. Would definitely recommend for anyone who is looking for some good fights. PS2 version better than the Wii version, I will say. Borderlands Game of the Year Edition. My friend Christy sold it to me for $10. All the DLC was included, plus the map thing that it came with as a poster. I haven't really looked at it, but it's still in here. Good deal for $10. Thank you very much. The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time 3D. Again, I was skeptical about this game. I was like, oh man, it's the N64 game, no improvements or anything, but the graphics are definitely improved, plus there's a boss rush mode, which was pretty awesome, I gotta say. And I hope Johnny, if he's ever watching this over at Happy Console Gamer, Ys 5. Johnny actually inadvertently got me into Ys, and this is my first Ys game. This was originally sealed, which was pretty cool, and yeah, it's a fantastic RPG series. I'm looking into getting a PC Engine Duo at some point so I can get Ys 1 and 2. I have Ys 3 for Super Famicom, but I'm also going to get Ys 3 again for the PC Engine Duo. But yeah, Ys 5. Kirby Superstar Ultra! Got it for $20 at Staples. Pretty awesome game. I am working on getting the Super Famicom version, but the DS version is quite sufficient, and I would definitely recommend it to anyone looking for a good time. X-Men vs. Street Fighter for the Sega Saturn. Very fantastic fighting game. Most people with the Sega Saturn definitely recommend this game. I do as well. Definitely got to get your hands on X-Men vs. Street Fighter. Silent Hill Downpour. Fantastic Silent Hill game, kind of going back to the roots, not quite there, but definitely more survival horror than previous iterations, and a great game to boot. And it's $20 now, how can you go wrong? Next up, I have Magic Knight Rayearth for the Sega Saturn. It is a fantastic RPG, and if anybody can tell me what's up with the cardboard protection around the game, that would be fantastic, because I have no clue. And this is a game that Nintendo got right, and that is Kirby's Dream Collection 20th Anniversary. I felt they screwed over Mario with his 20th anniversary. Or 25th anniversary. I felt that they screwed over Zelda with the 25th anniversary of that franchise. They didn't even celebrate the 25th anniversary of Metroid, but definitely with Kirby's 20th, they did it right. Melty Blood. Act Cadenza. I can't pronounce the second word. Again, PS2 fighting game that never made it over here. Looked pretty cool. I believe I was watching the sequel at EVO 2 years ago, and looks like an interesting fighting game. Still waiting on my card that allows me to play Japanese games on a PlayStation 2. Next up is the other game that was a part of that $20 Xbox 360 game deal, and that is Project Sylphid. Haven't played it, don't have opinion about it yet, unfortunately. The next game, however, which is the third and final game of that deal, and that is Perfect Dark Zero. Multiplayer sucks. I'm not a big fan of multiplayer in general, but the single player was pretty fun. I really do enjoy it. I don't own an Xbox 360 right now, but I used to own this game when I did, and I sold that off, unfortunately, and it's a lot of fun. So if you're into that, check it out. Disney's Epic Mickey, which you can clearly see I bought for $20 because it's still sealed. My brother originally owned this game, and I played it for him because he sucks, because he's 9 or was 8 at the time. Really fun game. I was helping him with the sequel, which is his, not mine. So, Epic Mickey, fantastic game. Definitely check out both Epic Mickey and Epic Mickey 2. Next up, and this was from my video editor. Yes, I have a video editor now. He gave me like 6 games, and that is Mirror's Edge. Ka-ching, ka-ching. Alright, the next game I have for you is, and this was also from my video editor, Dynasty Warriors Gundam 3. Yes, Dynasty Warriors Gundam 3, fantastic game. I mean, Dynasty Warriors kind of sucks, but when you throw Gundam into the mix, it becomes awesome. Don't ask me how it works, it's just how it works. Far Cry 3. Haven't had a chance to dig into the game yet, it's still sealed. But yeah, Far Cry 3. Heard a lot of good things about it. And, you can't go wrong with some Far Cry. Next up, we have the only PC game in physical media form, that is. And that is Star Wars The Old Republic. It was $15. I was like, why not? And now it's free to play, so it wasn't like I was going to kill the bank trying to play a game. I like it, and that's all that matters. So Star Wars The Old Republic. Super Smash Brothers Brawl. Yeah, you can't really have a Wii or a Wii U without a Smash Bros. Game. I mean, it's fun to play with friends. When this game originally came out, I played it for hours. I think I had like over 100 hours within the first week. This is still sealed because I haven't had a reason to play it. Oh my god, Thunder cometh now, because I said I don't have a reason to play Smash Bros, apparently. So everyone's gonna go, oh my god, you're such a dumbass. Next up we have Doom 3 BFG Edition. Again, this comes with Doom, Doom 2, Doom 3, Doom the Lost Level. I don't know about Doom the Lost Levels, but it comes with the first 3 Doom games. So it's pretty awesome. Definitely recommend it to anyone who's looking for some Doom action. Devil May Cry 4. Devil May Cry 4, not necessarily my favorite Devil May Cry, but nowhere near the worst Devil May Cry game I've ever played. You know, and I actually had bought 2 copies. One was for a friend because she had just gotten into the trilogy. And then I said, okay, well, I'm going to complete your set. DMC was not out, and I'm not going to count that game yet because I haven't played it, and we all heard that it sucks, so not going to talk about DMC. Next up, Super Mario Galaxy. Again, another staple for Wii titles, so yeah, picked up Mario Galaxy. Definitely recommend you check it out and play it. Sonic Colors. Underrated Sonic game. It's not as bad as Sonic 06. It's certainly not as bad as Sonic Unleashed. Certainly not as bad as Sonic and the Black Knight, so on and so forth. Not a shitty Sonic game is what I'm trying to get at. So, Sonic Colors. Mortal Kombat on the Genesis. I picked up a Genesis for $40. Came with 6 games. And this was one of them. Can't go wrong with no Mortal Kombat. Next up, we have Dead or Alive 5. Dead or Alive is a hit-or-miss fighting game for most people. Some people like it, other people hate it. There's no in-betweens. You either like it or you don't. I liked the franchise. 4 was hard as balls. 5 is pretty sweet. Of course, I only own Dead or Alive 5 and Dead or Alive 1. Working on getting 2 and 3. And 4. But yeah, Dead or Alive 5, definitely recommend it to those of you who are fans of the series. And if you're looking to try it, I would say rent it or borrow it, because again, apparently it's a hit or miss franchise, so I don't want to recommend those of you who don't know what Dead or Alive is. Next up is Child of Eden. Yeah, I know it's on the Xbox and the Kinect is supposed to make it super awesome, but I don't care, because it's awesome on the PlayStation, even without the Move. I do not use the Move, I use the DualShock, and it's still awesome. So I don't care. Child of Eden. Definitely recommend it on any system, and recommend playing it however you want to play it. Resident Evil 6. Resident Evil 6, a lot better than Resident Evil 5. I give it that. Superior to Resident Evil 5. It has survival horror elements. Is it a survival horror game? No. It is definitely an action game. I would probably tie it in, have it tied with Resident Evil 4. Yeah, the Chris campaign sucks, but the Leon campaign makes up for it. The Sherry and Jake campaign I also liked, and the Ada campaign was also superb. Chris campaign can go suck a dick. Definitely recommend you check out Resident Evil 6 if you're a fan of the franchise, And if you're kind of on the fence about the franchise, not a bad game to get into. Definitely better than 5, and you don't need to know what happened in 5 to get into this one. Dissidia Duodecim Final Fantasy, or Final Fantasy Dissidia 2. Or Final Fantasy Dissidia Duodecim, I don't know. Again, I rebought the copy now that I'm able to play PSP on my TV, and really great game. Definitely recommend it to anybody who has a PSP. The next game is another game that my video editor had given to me over Christmas, as I gave him Borderlands 2 on Steam, and that is X-Men Legends 2: Rise of Apocalypse. X-Men Legends 2 is quite good, better than X-Men Legends 1. Not as good, actually no, I would say it's better than Marvel Ultimate Alliance as well. More characters I like in X-Men Legends 2 than I do in Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Unless we're talking the Xbox 360 version, but whereas we're not, we're comparing the PS2 version of Marvel Ultimate Alliance and X-Men Legends 2. Definitely prefer X-Men Legends 2. Next up is another game he gave me, and that is Soul Calibur 3. Soul Calibur 3 is probably the best out of the franchise. I have all 6 games in the franchise, from Soul Blade all the way up to Soul Calibur 5, and Soul Calibur 3 is definitely the better of them all, especially if you have to fight Night Terror every frickin' time. There is some challenge in that there game. The next game I have for you, and this will make my video editor jealous, and that is the Ratchet & Clank trilogy, which includes Ratchet & Clank Going Commando, and Ratchet & Clank Up Your Arsenal. Pretty awesome game. Of course, this is still sealed, but again, all 3 games are awesome if you've played them on the PlayStation 2. Would definitely recommend you getting this one. I would probably recommend getting the controller bundle with it, just so you get more for your money. So yeah. Next up, we have a game that's been under a lot of fire, but you know what? I enjoy it, and so does my best friend, and probably more people that I know, but they haven't had the chance to play it, but I know a lot of people would like it, and that is PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. You know, it's a different kind of brawler. It's not like Smash Bros. You gotta get super meters, and that's fine. Now, if you're playing it one-on-one, yeah, it can get pretty boring and stuff, but if you're playing, you know, more than 2 people, like 4 people or 3 people, it gets pretty intense, pretty awesome. Definitely recommend it to people who own a PlayStation Vita or a PlayStation 3. More likely the PlayStation 3 version, because you get the Vita version, but if you don't have a PlayStation 3, get the Vita version. Never Dead, picked it up for $15, had a bunch of other games that I've been playing through, but I will be getting to this eventually. Heard mixed things. I'm kind of looking forward to playing through it. It looks interesting. I played the demo. I enjoyed it. So, yeah, Never Dead. Secret Agent Clank. Again, it was originally released on the PSP, and then it was ported to the PS2. PS2 version's probably better because it's on a bigger screen and whatnot. So, Secret Agent Clank. Mortal Kombat 2. Mortal Kombat 2 is much better than Mortal Kombat 1, and is often regarded as the best Mortal Kombat game to date. However, I think that's changed since Mortal Kombat 9, but definitely Mortal Kombat 2, not a bad game. Genesis in the box. Clay Fighters, the original classic by Interplay, fighting game with clay figures. It's pretty sweet, and not lightning fast, like it says, but it's, you know, fast enough, I guess. But it is much slower than Street Fighter 2 or other more traditional fighting games. Mortal Kombat 3. Mortal Kombat 3 is better, but Mortal Kombat Ultimate 3 is vastly superior to Mortal Kombat 2. I say that Mortal Kombat 3 is kind of better because it doesn't have Reptile, and Reptile is like one of my main characters in Mortal Kombat 2. And without Reptile, it's kind of like, I guess I'll use Smoke. But you have to unlock Smoke, so it's like, damn it. But Mortal Kombat 3, Not a bad game. Not a bad game. The next game and the final Genesis game. And I have to open it because, yes, I have a box for it, but I don't have the artwork for it, and that is Lethal Enforcers. It's a light gun shooter game that was also released on the Sega CD. I don't have the light gun, so I haven't been able to play it. Namco X Capcom. For those of you excited for Project X Zone, which is being localized in North America, Namco X Capcom is the first game of that series. Apparently, Project X Zone is actually a sequel to this game. So if you could play Japanese PS2 games, this is a game I would recommend you check out. And that does it for part 1. Stay tuned for part 2.